Welcome back to my channel. This is Old Nude Dude with theories and tinfoil of Game of Thrones and beyond. All fair use laws are in effect and spoilers ahead. Shout out to my sister who watches this channel. This is her favorite shirt. And me and her husband, I bought both of us this exact same hat at a place called Twixie's Railroad in, I believe, North Carolina. I don't know if we left the state to go there. I think it's, yeah, North Carolina. And I got a leather vest over there. I got one for me and my wife. We got the Can-Am, the Harley. To celebrate, I was get some leather jackets and leather vests. And everything that I own as far as driving has the direwolf from House Stark on it. The Can-Am, the windshield for the Harley, my truck, her car, my son's Ford. I mean, yeah. But when I ordered the jacket, the vest, I'm like, the first patch, I got a certificate patch for taking classes and stuff like college and that to get my license. And the first patch that I actually bought to go on the vest was not today. Shout out to Arya. Granted, they messed your story up, but it's still pretty fun to watch. Arya kicks ass. And then I said I was going to come up with hopefully some more pictures. And I wanted to get some with my daughter in it. And the only reason, I don't know if you can see this or not, but see that hand on her hip? She's 14 and still does that. So, and there's my lovely wife that cannot stand having her picture taken. And here is another, my daughter's hand on her hip. And then this is the dog pile. I mean, at the time, the two youngins. And then, of course, I don't know if we had somebody come over or if we actually were able to set a timer to take a picture, but that's the Wild Bunch there. And then here's my daughter again, and you'll notice that damn hand is on her hip. This one's in there just because it's the few times that I got my wife to dress up for Halloween. She dressed up this last time in a similar outfit to this, but I had to do a lot of, come on, the kids will love it, And of course, sticking with most of the stuff I like, it was, of course, a knight, and she was a maid or a bar wench. These are the dynamic duos. That's my oldest son and my daughter. They were inseparable. Wherever he was, she was. We had a crib that we used as a ball pit, and even he would crawl in there with her when she was 1 and 2 years old and play. It was the cutest thing you ever seen in your life. Here again, they're hanging out. And next I'm going to find some pictures of my youngest son, 7-year-old. Most of those are on cameras or phones and stuff. One of the few pictures of her not having her hands on her hip, but that's neither here nor there. I think it's enough for the pictures. Still not going to do a wins and winner predictions for this one, but I'm still going to go along with the reread of A Game of Thrones. And Daenerys won Game of Thrones. And I'm not going to sit there and recap what happens. There's other videos, Obsidian Nights. I mean, everybody. But I did, as I'm reading it, jot down questions in my mind that either needs to be answered now or to put a feather in the cap till later on in the story. And Lord knows I ain't going to remember it come later on in the story because my memory is shit. But here we go. The first one. Daenerys gives a description of Viserys. I can't never pronounce. Half a mouth. Look, if I start a political channel to bitch about all the shit happening in Washington, with my face only working on half side, chances are it's going to be named Two-Face, just because all damn politicians are Two-Face too. But that's neither here nor there. There's several words in this book I can't pronounce, even though they were on the show. Dany describes Viserys' eyes as feverish. Now, that might be a description of how he's constantly looking, or is there actually something wrong with him physically? We're told that when he's fighting the trident all over, his hand shakes and everything. I think we get some of the shaking with Sweet Robin, but that's one of those put a feather in your cap type things. And then if we hear any more references to something illness related when it comes to Viserys, we'll pick back up on it when we get to them. And then also Dany makes a comment about Magister Illyrio selling out a friend. Is that foreshadowing that he might turn against Varys? I doubt it, but hell, with George, you never know. All it takes is one sentence to plant a seed, and then 3 books later, that seed comes into a flower, oak tree, or whatever. But that's another one of those. Put a feather in your cap. All right, man. She's not, and this will get into another point. We hear that the usurper has hired vigilantes. It's not Batman. Assassins, and their daggers are always chasing them two from town to town, city to city, to house to house. But Dan tells you she's done been outside that manse, and they've been there 6 months, and she hears things about Magister Illyrio outside the manse, in the streets. So, are there daggers? Had there been people all this time hired by the usurper to kill them too? I don't think so. Because chances are, if there was, they would have succeeded in that shit. But, and I think that's all in Viserys. Damn, I can't stand that word. Her brothers, in his imagination, to make it sound more entertaining, I guess. Make it sound it's more severe that he survived this long. And then with all the traveling they've done, we hear most of the places: Bravos, Pentos, Mir, Cohorth, Lease. I can't remember all of them. I didn't write it down in my handy dandy notebook. One, how the hell them daggers didn't find them? And two, if the Golden Company was wanting to back a dragon to take over Westeros and put him back on the throne, they could have found these two. Viserys would be king now if they were going to back a dragon. But at point, I mean, it's like everybody says, chances are Fagon is a Blackfire, or he's bastard born. He might not be the Blackfire line. He might be, just because, if you're like me, think that he was born in a Tower of Joy, he's a bastard from Rhaegar and Lyanna. I don't know. We'll find out eventually, hopefully. And let's see. Here's the thing. I believe that Val, Fagon, and Dany were the 3 heads of the dragon born in the Tower of Joy. And I don't think that Rhaegar and Lyanna had a secret marriage. I think that they are actually technically considered bastards and natural daughters, however you want to put it. And then we get a hint, maybe, of some bastard blood. We're told that if a bastard's born in the Stormlands, their surname is, well, bastard without a surname from somebody important. Their surname is Storm. And then in her titles, she's named Stormborn. Stormborn. When you got half a mouth, that's hard as hell to say. So, is that a tip of the hat? Okay, there's a bit of a bastard name in one of her names. Is that a hint that she is bastard born? Like I said, these are just questions, and for the most part, I don't got a damn clue. And then also, you got Sir Willem Dany. Occasionally call her my lady. And as far as I can tell, and even we're told by Joffrey, you don't address royalty that way. It's your grace. You know what I mean? My lady, my lord, sir, that's not how you address royal blood. And Sir Willem, I guess, in his late in life sickness, let it slip every now and then. I mean, it's just, George likes to plant seeds. Take it for what you will. I mean, maybe they know what. It is what it is. All right, here's that damn word again. Viserys has to know one way or the other about who Dany is, or at least who she's not. He was old enough. He would know. He would know if his mother started showing. She could have showed, had a baby, and it died. We don't know. They might have pulled the wool over his head, but I got a sneaking suspicion just the way he treated her. In his mind, especially there toward the end when she was a Khaleesi, this little bastard-born girl is telling me what to do, a true-born son of King Aerys. So I believe he knew about Dany's bloodline. And then we're given a little bit of, at this stage of the book, it's something to put in the back of your head because you'll see it kind of pay off later on. There's two people associated with lemons, and that's Dany with a lemon tree outside her room with the house of the black door that she thinks is in Bravos, and then Sansa. Lemons are associated with her quite a bit, so that's another one of those feathers sticking your hat. I'll come back to that one. I don't know how to word it. Illyrio. He says, "May the Lord of Light shower you with blessings." That plus the flame-colored garments that he was wearing when he introduced her to Khal Drogo. Is a strong believer of the Lord of Light. Would that then, by association, maybe after he got his junk burned, I don't know about Varys wanting to be anything related to fire, but if Illyrio is a strong believer of the Lord of Light, was his wife a strong believer of the Lord of Light? Is Varys somewhat of a believer of the Lord of Light? And by extension, I know they got a septa teaching young Griff, but are the ways of the Lord of Light even mentioned to him? That's another one of those feather in your hat type thing. Don't think Dany remembers her childhood exactly the way it was. She makes comment that the servants lived in fear of Sir Willem Dany, and then after he died, they stole all their shit and left. Well, if they were staying with the Sea Lord of Bravos in the door with the house with the red door and the lemon tree out the window and all that stuff, there's somebody over that house. There's Sea Lords over that house, and he got his servants. So wouldn't their servants be from his servant pool? And he wouldn't steal from them. The servants, I don't think, would steal from them. The Sea Lord probably would tan a hide. I don't know how they put it. I mean, whatever punishment they give the servants in that part of the world, would they actually steal from them? So is this something that she remembers Willem Dafoe being in a sick bed, and some of the stuff was planted there by Varys, because you repeat something over and over and over again, eventually your ass gonna believe it. But there's that. Master Illyrio is said to be a very, very large man. And he's not the only very, very large man in this story. And one of them, Strong Belware, I don't know if I got the name right. I consider him more like a sumo wrestler, or if you're in the comic book, Kingpin is more muscle under that blubber than blubber. To explain how quick and how agile Strong Belware is. But as far as we can tell, Master Illyrio and Lord Manderley, you catch on later in the book on that one, are very large and very light on their feet. And that's hinted to some people that it's all a glamour. Why make the reference? Why make them that large and then make them that agile? And then at another time, make it to where two people have to help them get up. That's another one of them feathers in your cap shit. You'll be tired of me saying that stuff. And then out Drogo's manse, Dany starts to give you a lay of the room, who's there, before she realized she was the only female there, which made her nervous. You have people from Davos, sellswords from Pentos, Mir, and Tyrosh, and then a red priest, even larger than Illyrio. There's another one of those. The Golden Company is in Mir, if I'm not mistaken, and she's talking about sellswords from Mir. So we're members of the Golden Company at this gathering, and a lot of people have pointed out that it is a gathering that is chances of being a secret meeting, like the secret meeting that was going to happen at Turning at Harrenhal, and then in the Dunk and Egg stories, you get a secret meeting of the Blackfires disguised as a wedding. So it's a secret meeting here, disguised as a pre-wedding. It's possible. I mean, you got people from Mir, you got people from Tyrosh, you got people from the Summer Isles. I mean, it's not all 9 of the free cities. And I know Mormont being there makes it sound like there's a representative of Westeros to go along with all those other places that are in the east and in south across the waters. I think he's there, but Illyrio invited him. He has nothing to do with ties with Westeros, that years ago they didn't fake it to where he had to leave, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, he's just there to become a spy, but it puts his foot in the door. So, I mean, Westeros isn't a part of this gathering. So, is there a Eastern-ish conspiracy to go along with the Northern conspiracy? And if there was sellswords from the Gold Company at that meeting, that would have been the time to declare for House Targaryen right then and there. They see, which granted may be seeing Viserys. He's skinny, he's gaunt, clutching that barred sword like a wounded puppy just scared to death. They might have went, nah, this ain't the one. We'll stick with the other one they brought to our attention, the original plan. But I'm assuming that they didn't get a really strong impression from Viserys. But, I mean, what all was discussed at that wedding planning party? But, I mean, and then we also get Viserys calling Drogo Aegon the Conqueror born again. So some people have said that hints to some of his blood in his veins. So does he have any Valerian steel? This is a shit video, sorry. Does he have any Valerian blood flowing through his veins? And his and her child would be even that much more Targaryen. But we'll find out later, I imagine, what was really meant there. But with both Drogo and the youngin killed, it's not going to pay off too much for us. These beginning chapters for Game of Thrones and for George R. R. Martin, these books are pretty short. This one wasn't as short as the cat one. He's just setting stuff up. They're going to get longer as you go. There's going to be more questions as you go. And hell, 13 questions took me 20 minutes. Of course, the pictures didn't help none. And then talking about this other hat. But that's it. I like asking questions. I don't always have the answer. If you know the answer to any one of these questions in this video, please leave it in the comment section. And on the next video, I will present your answer to that question. Which I think is how I'm going to go forward. Instead of trying to point out like the one or two things that the chapter caught my eye, the questions that pop in my head as I read the chapter. Like I said before, it's biased on some of these questions because of the things that I believe or videos that I've watched. But at least try to come up with typical or legitimate questions on the events taking place before us in the books. And then hopefully get some answers. Hopefully some of the questions I have answers to, just make me sound smarter than I am. But if I don't got the answer, then Ashar, Trueborn son, and people like that are a whole lot smarter and definitely know their shit will help me answer. But you take care of yours. I'll take care of mine. I ain't seen shit for mask here lately, so do what you got to do. And this week, chances are there might be 3 videos, which was the plan going to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I got behind this week, so I do apologize. So I might still try to do the another video tomorrow, and then the 3rd one on Friday, and then hopefully we'll get everything our ducks in a row for the dress up Saturday. Somebody mentioned it to my 7-year-old, so now that's all he can talk about. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have to do it regardless of how I feel. But all right, I like to ramble. I like to talk. I like looking at myself on this little handy dandy phone. But y'all be good, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, bye.